In a village called Rangapuram, there lived a couple named Parvathamma and Subbaya. They had one son, and his name was Kumar. Subbaya had no farm fields or property. All he had was a small hut and a cattle shed. In the shed, there were 2 buffaloes. Every morning, Subbaya would wake up early, milk those buffaloes, go around selling the milk door to door, and with that income, he would support his family. Every day after selling milk and returning home, Subbaya would have his lunch at home and then take his 2 buffaloes to the forest at the edge of the village for the grazing. There he would let the buffaloes graze freely and he takes rest under a tree. By evening, he would cut some green grass, tie it in a bundle, place it on his head, and bring the 2 buffaloes back home. Once back, he would tie them in the shed, bathe in the yard, and then sit down to have dinner. During dinner, Subbaya, Parvathamma and their son Kumar would chat joyfully and eat together. After spending some time talking, all of them would go to sleep. In this way, the life of Subbaya's family went on peacefully. Thus, some time passed by. One day, as usual, Subbaya took his buffaloes to the forest for grazing. After leaving them to graze, he sat under a tree to rest like every day. Suddenly a snake came there and bit Subbaya. Because of that venomous bite, Subbaya died on the spot. As darkness fell, his dead body lay there itself. At home, Parvathamma stood at the doorstep waiting, thinking, it's already dark and my husband has not come home yet. After watching for a long time without any trace of Subbaya, she went to the house opposite where Rangaya lived and said, Brother, your brother-in-law went to the forest this morning, taking the cattle with him, and he still has not returned. I am feeling very anxious in this darkness. Where can I go searching alone? If you could come along with me, we can go to the forest and look for him once. Please, brother, help me.
Oh dear, why do you have to plead so much for such a thing? I and my son will come with you. You don't worry, nothing would have happened to Subbaya. You stay here for a moment. Since it's dark and we can't see the way clearly, I will just go inside and bring a lantern.
Saying so, Rangaya went inside and came back with 2 lanterns. Holding sticks in their hands, both father and son, along with Parvathamma, went into the forest. When they reached there, they saw Subbaya lying lifeless. Seeing the wound on his leg, they understood that he had died due to a snake bite. The moment Parvathamma realized that her husband was dead, she collapsed beside his body and cried heartbrokenly. After some time, Rangaya consoled her, and with the help of his son, he carried Subbaya's body back to the village. After completing the funeral rites, Parvathamma placed a lamp near Subbaya's photo at home and sat there weeping. Then her son Kumar came there and said, Amma, when will Nana come home? I'm feeling very hungry. Every day we wait for Nana and then eat while chatting, right? So why has not he come today? Hearing those words, Parvathamma did not know how to reply to her son. Overwhelmed with sorrow, she continued crying even more. As her son repeatedly asked where his father was, she thought in her heart, Oh God, what an injustice you have done to me. What answer should I give to this innocent boy? If he learns that his father will never return, how will this tender heart bear it? But I have no choice. I must tell him. From now onwards, I myself will become both his mother and father and make sure he never feels the absence of his father. Thinking thus in her heart, she said to her son, My boy, listen carefully to what I am saying. Your father has gone to God and he will never return. From now onwards, I am both your father and mother. Whatever you need, ask me. From this day onwards, it is my duty to fulfill all your wishes. I will make sure you never feel any lack. Saying so, she pulled her son close, wiped her tears, and kissed him lovingly on his forehead. That night passed like that. The next morning, just as Subbaya used to do daily, Parvatamma woke up early in the morning, went to the cattle shed and milked the buffaloes. She went around selling that milk herself from house to house. With that money, she managed to educate her son properly. As years passed, through her hard work and with the 2 buffaloes she had, she continued her milk business. With the profits she earned, she bought a few more buffaloes. Gradually, her business grew day by day. Eventually, she opened a milk center in the same village. Her small hut turned into a large house. Her son Kumar also grew up into a handsome young man. Seeing that, all the neighbors would say to Parvatamma like this: Udina, it looks like your son has reached marriage age. Why haven't you got him married yet? What is this, Udina? Why do you say so? He's not that old yet. He's still studying. We will see about marriage after he finishes his studies. You just keep waiting like that. Look, your son is growing fair, smart, and handsome like a ripe mango. Before you realize it, some girl will buzz around like a love bee and fly away with him. My son would never do such a thing. Anyway, why do your eyes seem so fixed on my son? Oh, nothing like that, Udina. It's just that my daughter too has come out of age. I thought if you agree to get her married to your son, both children would be in front of our eyes. After all our property would go to her, and we will even give our 20 acres of farmland as dowry. Wouldn't it be good if we made this decision in advance? Oh, so that's what you meant. Look at my son's looks and your daughter's. They are not equal. I will find a beautiful girl worthy of my son and get him married. You can keep your 20 acres to yourself. Saying so, Kantamma left angrily while Parvatamma laughed and went inside the house. When she went inside, her son Kumar said,
What is this, Amma? You're laughing to yourself. If you tell me what it's about, I will also laugh.
Nothing, my son. Our neighbor Kantamma, Venkatamma and Vanessa, all of them are asking me to marry you to their daughters. But I told them firmly that I will marry you only to the girl you like. Anyway, it's not yet time for your marriage. You wanted to go to the city for higher studies, right? Finish that first. Then we will think about your marriage later.
You said it right, Amma. First, I will complete my education and get a job. Only then I will marry. Anyway, who else would know better than you what is good for me and when to do it?
My dear boy, stay here, son. All these villagers have their eyes on you. Let me ward off the evil eye first. Until then, don't go outside. Saying so, with great affection, she performed the ritual to ward off the evil eye for her son Kumar. Thus, some time passed. Kumar went to the city for his higher studies. Even after going there, he would return home during festival holidays. He would spend all his holidays with his mother and then return again. After some time, one day, Kumar called his mother Parvatamma from the city and said,
Amma, how are you? How is your health?
I am fine, my son. Leave about me. Tell me, how are you? How are your studies going on? Are you eating properly? Don't wander unnecessarily in the hot sun, my boy. You will get sick.
I am fine, Amma, but next week my studies will be over. I am coming back to the village and I call now to tell you that.
Really, my son? What a wonderful news you have given me. In this big house, I can't think of anything else except you. My mind is always on you. Come soon, my boy. I will prepare all your favorite snacks and dishes ready by the time you arrive.
No, don't worry, Amma. It's only 1 week. It will pass in no time. Okay, Amma. It's time for my class. I will go now and call you again later. Take care of yourself. Take care of your health. I will see you soon.
Saying so, Kumar hung up the phone. Hearing her son's voice, Parvatamma felt very happy. From that day onwards, every day, she herself started preparing all her son's favorite dishes with her own hands. Finally, the day her son was supposed to return home arrived. Parvatamma stood at the doorway waiting. When her son still didn't arrive, even after a long wait, she called him and said, "Hello, my boy, why are you so late? Even the last bus to the village has already arrived and you have not come yet. I am feeling very worried. That's why I called you."
Nothing to worry about, Amma. On the way, I had to stop for some important work. Don't worry. I have hired a taxi and I am on my way. And yes, I also have some good news for you. I will tell you once I get home. Don't worry. I will reach before it gets too late in the night.
Saying so, Kumar cut the call. Just hearing her son's voice made Parvatamma feel calm. She then went back inside the house. What is that good news? Kumar mentioned to his mother to know that. Wait until the next part.